Hey guys, Colin from DecoNetwork, back with Dewhurst. We are in part 2 of our Long Beach 2024 Impressions Expo walkthrough. You guys love these videos, so we're just keep doing them. We already did part 1, so if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. And we're gonna start part 2 here at Roland.
So, for those who don't know who Roland is a leader when it comes to roll-to-roll printing. That's typically an eco-solvent or a UV printer, and they've also do some new stuff. I mean, what I really like that I'm seeing from Roland are these new desktop machines. So when you get a UV printer, when they first started coming out, they were $30K, and it wasn't that much bigger than this. So this is the Versa Studio BD8, and it is a desktop UV printer. So when you go with something smaller, cheaper, two things happen. Your area to print on goes down, and the speed that it prints goes down. So if you want to pay more, you're going to be able to print bigger, and you're going to be able to print faster. This machine is right under 10K, and it will allow you to print onto a wide range of products using UV ink. And you can see there, Colin, it's using UV light. That purple light goes over it and instantly cures the print.
Yeah, don't stare at it too long there, Zach.
I don't have any brain cells. So you can see like a bag tag like that. You can see they have this jig for printing golf balls. So if you ever wonder, how do they print on a golf ball? Well, they put it on one of these machines and it prints directly over it. So you can print a wide range of hard good products with UV ink, and having a desktop version which has a lower price point and the footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, almost anybody can fit this in their garage or their basement if that's where you're doing all your production.
And the footprint's huge. That's a huge factor.
Oh, it is, and again, under 10K, that's pretty good. So what Roland has started doing is they've started to bring a lot of their equipment into a desktop version. So you have UV, you have DTF. So if you see their direct-to-film, not that big. It's again, it's just sitting on a tabletop. And then they have their new eco-solvent printer. It's an inkjet printer cutter. So just like their big roll-to-roll machines, it's just a smaller version, meaning it has a smaller imprint area and it's a slower printing process. But this machine starts at $6,500. I mean, that is really cheap for something that can print and cut stickers and clings and banner material. They also have a desktop engraving machine. So check out Roland. Most of us in the industry that print apparel start with a heat press and a vinyl cutter. And the most popular vinyl cutter out there is the GS24. They've renamed it like 3 times, but it's a 24-inch wide cutter, typically starts around 2K, and now Roland is really entering into this other wide range of desktop machines, low learning curve, and Roland you can trust. Roland, Mamaki, I have complete confidence in buying any piece of equipment from these two brands because they've been doing it for decades, and they just are really great engineering. The old saying goes, you get what you pay for. You can have confidence in Mamaki and Roland because they're just well-engineered equipment.
And here's Zach, here's something that we have a video on. If you want an in-depth video on this machine we're looking at here, go ahead and check it. We'll probably pin it at the top of this video so you can easily find it. But what is this, Zach?
This is the color reel. So if you look at one of these traditional embroidery machines, you have all the different spools. Each color in the design has its own spool,
right?
And each color is sewn. Versus the color reel is actually white thread up top, and right before it's sewn, it is dyed, and it allows you to create a full color design, or you could create a normal embroidery design but use one spool of thread and simulate an unlimited amount of colors.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's really cool
That's
technology.
a game changer.
It's not a whole lot has changed over the years with embroidery. You know, the printing processes went from just screen to, hey, we're going to do some DTG. Now we're doing DTF and all over sublimation and so forth. Embroidery hasn't changed much. This attached attachment you can put above virtually any embroidery machine is the biggest change in embroidery in decades, I would say.
Yeah,
so,
if you guys, like I said, if you want a more in-depth look at this, please check out our video, because we have interviewed someone who runs and operates and sells this machine, and they'll tell you a lot more than we can about it.
Yeah, I wish I had one, but I don't have 30K to drop on it right now. But, you know, somebody on the floor mentioned to me, if a thread breaks, you only have one thread that can break. You know, it's not like you have 10 colors on there, one of them breaks, or a needle breaks. It simplifies a lot of things. And I've had customers come to me and they want like a full color design. It's like, I don't want to hoop 15 unique colors just to create this when we can do one color at a time. This is Dave with Corel Trainer. We're going to do a webinar with Dave and talk about how Corel Trainer will educate you to be able to use Corel Draw's software very quickly, and that'll allow you to do a lot of vectorization and other changes. I mean, almost every printing process would prefer a vector when possible. Not everything can be a vector, and Corel Draw makes actually converting a bitmap file into a vector very easily, and Corel Trainer will help you understand how to do that and greatly reduce that learning curve instead of you trying to learn software. Software can take time to learn, especially if it's powerful, and Corel Draw is powerful. So right here we have Mamaki. Again, Mamaki makes incredible equipment. Everything from a UV flatbed printer, UV roll-to-roll, eco solvent roll-to-roll. Mamaki does it really well. And what you see in the show, Colin, is you see a lot of dealers of equipment, and then you actually see the manufacturer themselves to give that extra support and that extra peace of mind that, hey, it's not just coming from this sales rep, from this dealer. We definitely have engineered it. We educate our dealers. We educate our techs so that anybody who purchases it should have complete confidence and the peace of mind that they made a good purchase.
And look who this is, Zach.
M&R. I mean, whoa, that's a new blue. It's funny, I've never met somebody who purchased M&R equipment and couldn't be a sales rep for them because they absolutely love it.
Check that out. It's already sold, Zach.
Oh gosh. It's a wallflower merch. So what we have going on here, what are we doing? We are doing inline DTG. So right there, we are pre-treating. And then it looks like we have a couple flash dryers here. So these are helping dry the pre-treat. Then it gets to the heat press where it is curing the pre-treat, and then comes over to the other side where it's going to print the white underbase. Yep. And then it's going to print the CMYK.
And then you get something like these over here.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, that's the Polaris. It's high-speed DTG equipment. We were in same-day tea shop. They had this and digital squeegee and your traditional auto and manual screen printing equipment from M&R. M&R is the benchmark for screen printing equipment, but M&R now does a lot more than just screen printing. Again, we just saw that's their.
There you go, right there.
They have two different DTG machines. So they have the Polaris, and then they have, the Maverick. And the Maverick is a two-head, and what I really like about the Maverick is it has CMYK ink, plus light cyan and light magenta, and I've seen their DTG equipment put out prints and colors that I've not seen any other DTG machine do because of that extra light cyan, light magenta. It's essentially taking a 4-color simulated process print and turning it into a 6-color process print.
Right, and Zach, we've pretty much touched on M&R in every single one of these videos, but something exciting down the road is we will be visiting M&R's headquarters.
Their HQ in April. So we'll be at the DAC show in Tinley Park, and M&R M&R is located just outside of Chicago, so we're going to take a tour of their HQ. We're going to look at their automatic and manual screen printing equipment. We're going to look at their digital squeegee, which is a hybrid of essentially screen printing and DTG. We'll look at their Maverick DTG and their Polaris, and then they have the Quattro DTF machine, which is, again, becoming another benchmark machine for that printing process. I've never again heard any single person ever complain about M&R. M&R just puts out a phenomenal product. They're not the cheapest, but again, I keep mentioning peace of mind. If you bought M&R equipment, you are not going to regret because of issues with it. You've got to, again, you're going to spend more money. You've got to do it. You got to keep it busy and going. But if I had to buy screen printing equipment today, M&R would be at the very top of my list for it. Another place we're going to tour, Colin's going to come up to Columbus, Dynamite Apparel. Dynamite is a leader when it comes to dyeing fabric, whether it be mineral dye, tie-dye. They do it all, and they do it in my home city. So they're going to let us tour their facility and show us how they do it. It's a really cool process. I've personally done some tie-dyeing before. I would not do it again. It was kind of fun. I was 22 at the time, and I would create my own tie-dye designs, but it's a process. It's a little bit of a mess. Dynamite, you can buy directly from them, and you can buy from dealers like S&S Activewear.
It's getting better.
So we have our, over here we have auto bagging and tagging machines, some crazy different types of embroidery equipment. I mean, look at that, Colin. I mean, how many heads is that?
That's just ridiculous. Yeah, here you go right here. So hold that up for the people.
Jeez. And 1100 RPM, that's pretty much a standard speed. So RPM, revolutions per minute, it's essentially the exact same thing as stitches per minute. We have the Epson booth here. Epson's really well known for their DTG printing equipment, among a few other processes that they have. Epson makes great products. Most of your DTF print heads is actually an Epson print head. So right here we have Image Technology. Image Technology does a lot of different things, but they do a lot of ink mixing. So if you see here, you actually have all these 5-gallon buckets of pigments.
This out.
And how it would work is you would put in your Pantone number that you want to create, and then it's going to give us the formula, and you see right there is a scale. You put your bucket of ink on there, and it'll drop the pigment in with a base, and then you will mix it together, and you've created a custom color. So if you ever want to do a Pantone match, mixing inks, whether it's a pigment mixing system or a finished ink system, it works a little bit different, but you can create virtually any color that you need a color match when your customer says, I need this Pantone color.
Right.
Also referred to as a PMS. PMS stands for Pantone Mixing System. So sometimes a customer will say, I need this PMS color, and by having an ink mixing system, you can create that color and keep your customer happy.
So someone who doesn't have something like that, because not a lot of people will have that, what would be the step to try to match someone's color that they want?
When you say they don't have that automated,
right? They don't have the automated.
In my shop, I have 17 pigments, and I have a scale. And all I have to do is put in where I bought my ink, the manufacturer. I tell it I want to do this Pantone number. It gives me the formula, and I just have to scoop out the pigments manually, put it in, and then mix it. Having a good scale is really the only important piece of equipment you need. So we We have ZSK over here. ZSK is known for high quality, made in Germany embroidery machines. Right there, you're looking at chenille. So chenille has that raised look effect. It's a different way to embroider, but you can see you can also do traditional embroidery on the same machine.
And we're in LA, basically, Long Beach, but right down the road from LA. So of course we have to have the great Kobe Bryant. Very
They're
cool.
doing 23, not number 8.
I know, it doesn't make sense. That's definitely Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, you could have gone with LeBron James, but he never wore 23 here in LA. So yeah, I mean, you can see that this show is crazy. Right here we have Pocket Me. So Pocket Me will do something really unique. They will allow you to choose a pocket color that you want for a shirt. So you hit them up and I'm like, I want a white polo shirt with a red pocket, but I want it to look like, in this case, the dog is coming out of the pocket. So what Pocket Me will do is they will actually decorate for you, in which they decorate part of the shirt. I mean, it all comes down to what you're ordering. Well, they decorate part of it, put the pocket over, and then potentially decorate the pocket as well. So they do everything from screen printing, and when I say screen printing, it's your traditional 2D plastisol. Check out this basketball.
I mean,
3D
these are all
puff.
really cool. Look at that. That is awesome.
Pocket Me is a DecoNetwork licensee. They use our software and they allow their customers to design and order custom pockets through it, and really cool stuff. I highly suggest you check them out. Really great pricing. Right, Spiro?
Yes.
So what, Spiro? Screen, sublimation, embroidery.
Yes.
Pretty much every decoration process for apparel you guys are doing to the pocket itself. I mean, I see here, this, you can see it's a full color print, although it's only 3 spot. And then you've got your 3D puff popcorn coming out of it.
Very cool.
Really cool. So, Colin, I mean, we can't make an infinite amount of videos. This is our second video, and we are in only room 1 of 3.
Yeah.
So that just puts in perspective how big this show is. There is no other show like it. I highly suggest you attend one. If you attend the Long Beach show even every other year, it will be very beneficial because you just do not see this stuff at other shows. You'll see a lot of it, but I mean, we went to a couple other impression shows, and out of the big 3 suppliers, only Sanmar was at one of them. So definitely try to make it out to the impression show, and who doesn't want to come to California in January and escape some cold weather if you're on the Midwest like myself, or even in Colin in Atlanta was coming away from degree or teen degree weather. So lots of fun, lots of education, lots of networking. You got to come to the Long Beach Impression Show.
No doubt. Well, as always, guys, we really appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you've watched part 1 and this is part 2. So that's a wrap on Long Beach. We'll have some other content coming out over the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to interview specific companies out here behind us and get in-depth looks at what they have to offer. So,
and we're going to be we're doing a lot of networking. We want to keep these webinars coming. We're trying to bring the trade show to you through webinars in which you can ask questions and really take your business to the next level and make informed decisions on where you take your business.
no doubt. So, all right, guys, we will see you on the next one.